Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
Hello, everybody out there in the DC universe. Welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Gotham, episode 55. 55, the Hideki Matsui episode. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Make sure you check out all the other great shows. We're going to batmanonfilm.com. There's a tab. ELTD's there. Gotham Outsiders are there. Ryan Lauer's Batman Book Club, Comics on Consoles. Just go check out all the great shows. Italian Spider-Man Coalition, that's on there too as well. I'm your co-host from the Hudson's, the other side of the Hudson River. I'm Peter M. Vera, and today we're recording on November 8th, and as always, a great show for you. But remember, we have a monthly contest, and if you, the faithful listeners, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and we read it and we review it, you win a prize. We do have a prize winner for last month. We will read his review at some point in the episode. So October's is done, November's is beginning, so get those reviews in. Now, let me introduce you to my partner in crime, the East Marion mashed potato cooking champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of Long Island, the rockin' jockin' fisherman himself, Eric Holzman.
Hello there. Hello there, people. Hello there, Pete. Hello there, world. Hello there, everybody.
Well, it's interesting, Eric, because there's a specific someone in our circle of friends who claims to have the best mashed potatoes on the planet, yet you are an actual mashed potato champion. So I'm just wondering, possibly in March, are we going to find out who is the real deal?
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have a mashed potato off. If that's what we're going to call it. I don't know.
Call the mash off, right?
I guess we can, yeah. I don't know. I try not to mess with him on this specific thing. He seems very proud of his mashed potatoes. So I kind of, okay, you can have the mashed potatoes. All I know is my father's mashed potatoes were legendary. Like if you talk to people, they remember him for them if they've ever eaten at my house or somewhere where my dad made the potatoes. So I've kind of picked up on that and learned to do it myself. So mine are good.
I think there's a challenge here somewhere.
But I did not get the heaping of mashed potatoes when I went to Rick's house way back when, a few years ago. But Justin did. So Justin Kowalski.
Oh, so Justin's actually eaten the famous mashed potatoes.
Yes, Justin has eaten the mashed potatoes. He ate the steak Rick made him. He made him something else. I knew about this steak.
I know Justin got like a T-bone steak. Like something like really delicious. Like I remember Rick didn't invite me over for steak night. So I was eating at Whataburger and Chewy's.
I kind of just fell into that. It was a weird situation how all that happened, but I just kind of fell in and Rick was like, "Oh, come over." And then when I went there the next day, the day he took us around Dallas, that's
Rick's
the day
like, "You like politics? Come on over."
Yeah, I just kind of went over there. That was when I met everyone. It was cool. It was a cool time. Rick was great. I have to give him. say this all the time. He didn't know me at the time at all, and he was so gracious, and it was really, really nice of him to take care of me.
Ricky Joe
visited. So so it was very, very nice, and I'm forever grateful for that. Being a guy who literally at the time didn't know anyone, I just went there on a whim. Instead, I talked to these guys on Twitter.
I mean, I was in the same place, though. I mean, I didn't know anybody that
Yeah, I didn't know you. That's the weird thing. I didn't know Pete yet either. Now we're going back, guys. Well, I didn't know Pete yet either.
Where did you drive?
Yes, and then when we left the movie theater, Pete and Nick, actually.
He's from Long Island.
Yeah, and he produced a couple of our Iceberg Lounge shows. Pete and Nick were both there, and I drove them from the movie theater to the Ginger Man. We went to the Ginger Man that was in Dallas.
I don't remember where we went.
There's a Ginger Man in Manhattan that I love. That's an excellent beer bar. I have so many different kinds of beers. But there was also one in Dallas, and that's where we went. So that was, going back. The Wonder Woman watch party. That was the Wonder Woman watch party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I first met Pete. So
that was it.
This would not be happening if I didn't go there.
If it wasn't for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, pretty much. So
that's good.
So there's a quick trip around memory lane, people. Pete, do you want to bring up do you want to give the contest winner now? Or you want to
so I will. Let's do it now. Right. Ready? Because it's a great gift. He's getting a McFarlane Joker action figure, or he or she, whoever they are. But Zombie Killer. That is the handle. Wrote us a nice review on October 19th. Tremendous pod. This podcast is unbelievable. If you want to listen to two dudes get their nerd on in a fun, interesting way, this is the podcast for you. 5-star review. Utterly positive. Thank you so much. Zombie Killer. Contact us on social media. straightogpodcast@gmail.com, or hit us up on that's our email, or on social media. That is in the DMs. straight_O_G on Instagram and Twitter.
Remember, you can't, if you're going to DM us on Twitter, you can't do it unless you follow. So follow first.
Definitely. Well,
either one of us or the Straight OG account, doesn't matter.
They got to follow us to know we do the contest.
That's true. Yeah. But our own. Well, they have to follow SOG, but they don't have to follow us. So
they should follow all three.
I agree. They should, because our best content is usually on our personal accounts, because that's where we get stupid or crazy, more than the show account. So,
I mean, I'm not that. I mean, if you want to call Ooks stupid and crazy, I think we better have a conversation.
So I want to thank you, Zombie Killer, for the love. I hope you enjoy your prize. I do love the name, because it was October, Halloween, all that stuff. It's awesome name, Zombie Killer. So yes, awesome.
It's very fitting.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, very, very fitting. So thank you for the love, and we hope you enjoy your prize. I would have enjoyed the prize if I was the one. So I'm glad.
I still can't get over the name.
It's just it's an awesome name. I love it. So that's great. All right. So on top of that, is there anything else we want to talk about before we get into it?
What was that, Eric? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry, guys. I was just using my lawnmower 4.0.
Whoa!
So amazing, so discreet, so silent, and the flashlight helps. No one will know you're, maintaining the lawn. The maintenance is there.
The lawn maintenance is there. You are your own landscaper.
Just let me finish up real quick. Hold on. Just let me get the edges. It's all right. It's from the waist up. Like, Eric can't see what's going on. It just...
Don't nick yourself. No,
I had to get rid of the mantle lanterns. Obviously, it's November, so don't forget.
So, people, as you know, what Pete is talking about, of course, is Manscaped. So we're going to talk about this real quick. We want to thank all of you, actually, for who used our promo code in October. We have now entered into an official, that was kind of our test period. Now we're into an official partnership with Manscaped. We satisfied their requirements, I guess is the best way to say it.
We're no longer free agents.
We're no longer free agents. They have signed us. So it's a very, very cool time. So remember, guys, you can still get 20% off using our code Gotham over at manscaped.com. Go over there, check out all the products, as Pete and I have talked about many, many times.
Crop preserver is great, smells great.
Yep. Yeah, literally that stuff, the cologne and the spray and all, it's really, really great. Because as you know, guys don't talk about this stuff much. I
need to re-up, man. I need a new bottle of preserver.
Yeah, we don't talk about this stuff much. It's just not like women talk about this kind of stuff. Like they talk about their stuff going on.
I don't know, man. Sometimes my junk gets sweaty, and it's like, oh man, got sweaty down there.
Yeah, like you might say it in passing, but you don't talk about products with your friends. Normally,
maybe not the product. You're right. Guys will be like, my balls are sweaty, but they won't be like, my balls aren't sweaty anymore because I use Manscaped. So I think we need to start the conversation.
Exactly. Like women, I don't know if I've ever said this on air, but I have 7 older sisters, and I've heard about womanly things my entire life.
Womenly things.
Things that guys and most boys probably should not hear. I have heard in my life. I don't want to get into a whole big conversation about it, but women talk about that stuff. I could just say in public, just blah blah. They don't care. They talk about it. Men, we don't. We're much more sensitive when it comes to those things. But again, guys, Manscaped. Since we've had this, it's been great for me. I could say that. It's nice cooling feeling down there with the spray and the deodorant. It's if you get a little funk going on, the smell is much better. I
don't have any more funk. There's no more
right,
funk.
Exactly. The funk is gone. So guys, check it out. Again, Lawnmower 4.0, the ball, the crop preserver. Is the other one called the crop duster? No, I don't know. Just go there, check it out. Again, 20% off if you use our code Gotham on manscaped.com. If you get the main package too, they give you this nice little carrying case. It's called the Shed.
Yeah.
So it's not a she shed. It's just a shed.
Oh, God.
So it's something. Guys, just go check it out. And again, thank you guys all again for supporting us in October.
We appreciate it.
And you go again, hit it back this month. Christmas is coming, gifts, stocking stuffers, whatever you're gonna do.
Let the missus know she gets the free shipping.
Right. So always, yes, and always, they have all the stuff to protect your family jewels. They have everything over there for you guys to make that situation better. So again, thank you. Go check manscaped.com. Okay, so we haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks because we did our Halloween show. So we haven't been we kind of skipped over the news for a few weeks. So we're going to go back a little bit, discuss some things that we heard about at the end of October, and actually a story that just came out today and one that came out yesterday too. So there's a
lot of things that have been happening.
There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, but we're going to
complaining. People are complaining.
But we also have some trailers. So you want to do the trailers first? Let's do the trailers first. Let's
sure. You want to do trailers first?
Let's start with the trailers. So there was a quick little teaser trailer that came out about Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Yeah. I think this is the fourth one.
Yes. And it was only 19 seconds.
It literally is a teaser, which is cool. And
it's not all it does is show jump moments, scary jump moments. That's it. It's boom, they show one, they show another.
I feel it looks already better than 3, though, to be brutally honest. 3 is not good. I like the first 2. But I'm into this. I'll see Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it seems a lot of things are being rebooted as we know Scream and Halloween a couple years ago, which we talked about, that was rebooted. So a lot of things in horror are Dune, another one. So a lot of things have been redone recently.
Spider-Man,
another one.
Keaton.
We'll talk about Spider-Man later.
It's a theme.
Talk about Spider-Man later. But there's been a lot of that going on. So, but I agree. It's enough to at least pique your interest. What they showed.
Who doesn't like going to see even an average horror movie as long as there's a couple jump scares?
Right. The jump scares are what to me has been lacking in a lot of horror recently. So if this brings those back,
I'll be down for that. Why not?
Then I'm down for that. So that's
I'm all for it.
That'd be very cool. The other trailer, of course, let's do the new Michael Bay movie. It's going to be on Netflix, awesome. Right? Yeah. Called Ambulance.
Is it Netflix? I don't know.
I believe it is. I believe it's Netflix. I think.
This looks like a blast. This looks like it's just, first of all, it just looks like pure Bay. The cars look good. The flares look good. It's in the chases look. It's the action. I'm all in this. Gyllenhaal and Yaha. I'm yo, I am so pumped. And it takes a little twist there at the end in the ambulance. It just screams like this is Michael Bay and he's back. And I'm pumped.
Okay, it's not Netflix. I was wrong, but it is going to be a theatrical release. So
I'm pumped. I hope this. I can't wait to see it. It looks fun. Yeah. It looks good.
It does. It's a typical Michael Bay. They even showed the slow-mo shots where the people are turning their heads, and it's very much a Michael Bay movie. It's like you said, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, it's Yaha. It's got some similar beats to it was on the tip of my tongue. Now I'm forgetting.
What, Speed?
No, not really Speed. I forget the name of the movie. It recently came out with Jason Statham. If you saw that one, folks, I can't remember.
Transporter 9.
No, it was not a Transporter film. It just came out this year, and I saw it in the theater. Sure. I'm forgetting the name. I'll look it up in a little bit and bring it back. But it has some similar beats to that. But Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Like you said, there's a speed element to it because there's in the trailer they show you a chase. You're driving an ambulance. There's the ambulance part of it. Like there's the name of the movie in there. So it was very, very cool, very action packed. Definitely very Michael Bay. If you like his movies,
I think it'll be nice.
Yeah, if you like his movies, this is up your alley. Definitely up your alley.
Get that Transformers stuff. Like I know it kind of didn't end great with Transformers, but like I always enjoy a good Michael Bay, even in decent Michael Bay movie. I just like Michael Bay movies. Like I like most of the Transformers movies. Sorry,
they are. For lack of a better term, they're very masculine films. All his movies are very much.
I'd love if Michael Bay got his hands on Superman. I know Garrett would be really pumped. Come on, what would be better? And this is all Garrett's thinking. It's his, and I totally agree with him. What would be more amazing than a Michael Bay Superman movie? Like it'd be great. It would be. It's right up his alley.
It'd be a lot of fun, that's for sure. It would be a lot of fun. I often said Guy Ritchie.
Truth, Justice, the American Way, because like you said, like it's Michael Bay, but he is patriotic.
I've said Guy Ritchie in the past. I wouldn't mind seeing him do a Superman movie or even a Batman movie. I think he'd be good at either one. Not
Batman. I think Superman's better for Guy Ritchie, but not as much as like a Michael Bay one.
Let's see what happens going forward. But as for Ambulance. It looks very good. Fun. It looks like a very, very good film.
It doesn't look, it doesn't look, it's not one of those movies where like he's got to impress us. He could just have fun and just do his thing. And that's when I think Bay's at his best.
Yeah. Like he's not, and it's also not an IP where he might be restricted or have to do certain things or things, even though he never does anyway. But
he does what he wants. That's why he's the best.
In parameters. Yeah. So guys, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, go check it out. The last trailer, which is one close to my heart, was for the Book of Boba Fett. Now that's obviously going to be on Disney Plus. It was teased at the end of the Mandalorian season that they were making this, and I've never understood the infatuation with Boba Fett. There's people who love him, and I know the comic series that they did really, really fleshed him out, and that's where the love from most people come from. But when they had him in The Mandalorian and then they said they were doing this, I was very, very interested to see what they were going to do and how they were going to go about it. And I really liked the trailer. It definitely it's not a series I wanted, but now that I saw the trailer, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm in. So let's go forward now and let's see where they go with this. Fennec Shand, who Ming-Na played in Mandalorian, she of course will be back as his sidekick in this. She favors heavily in the trailer. Also, there seem to be back on Tatooine because he's going back to Jabba's old palace, even though it was destroyed. So I have no idea how that's working or what.
So when does this take place? Does this take place after the 6th theatrical, or I guess
it's the same timeline as the Mandalorian. So yeah, it's I believe it's after that time period.
But is it before Force Awakens or after? Oh, yes, so it's before Force Awakens. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Boba Fett's dope, man. He's one of the few Star Wars. Him and like Han Solo, I always thought were like the coolest Star Wars characters.
See?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like, it's okay. So he doesn't die in Jedi.
Well, obviously, because we saw Mandalorian, so he's not dead.
I haven't seen Mandalorian. That's why I'm asking.
I thought
Star
you
Wars
watched
novice.
It.
No,
you haven't watched
Star Wars
it. Okay.
Novice.
Well, you should watch that because it's just a really good show, whether you like Star Wars or not. It's a very well done series. So that's number one, I would say. But yes, he in the end of the last season, he comes back and figures prominently in the saving of the child. This guy
who plays him as Aquaman's dad.
Yes, and he also played Jango Fett in Phantom Menace. You should recognize him.
Yeah, I do. I was looking at this seems like kind of like gangster. Like it looks very mafia oriented. He's like, he's like Jabba won't let you speak. I was like, this guy's got to be Sicilian. Like Boba Fett's got to be Sicilian. There's no doubt in my mind he's Sicilian. Like I'm watching this guy and he's like, speak. And Jabba would have killed you, but I'll let you talk and then he'll kill you later.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this thing is. I was all in on this. So I was like, I'll watch this. I think this is really fun. I kind of dig it.
It definitely has there's definitely a sit down scene. Like
I was all about it. I was like, Boba Fett's Italian. Like I was like, it totally makes sense. I get it. I'm all for this.
Yeah, so it looks very good. I know friends of ours who are very into it. Specifically, one of your co-hosts on the Spider-Man podcast, Nico Caruso, is a very big fan of Boba Fett. So he's one of the people.
What is it Nico hyped for? Nico's hyped for movies that were just announced, yesterday. Like Nico's hyped for everything.
I know he's very excited. My nephew is a big Boba Fett guy too, and I asked him, and he's very excited about it. So this is something.
You excited?
I don't know.
Does Rick know this show's coming?
He might not. He might not know. I have no idea.
He's all in on the Batman right now.
Justin always teases him that he hasn't watched The Mandalorian yet anyway.
He hasn't?
So, no, he has.
Oh, I was like...
But we tease him because
Ricky Joe.
We know how that is. So, but yeah, guys. So those are the 3 quick rundowns for the 3 trailers we got recently. All of them, again, pretty good, selling what they need to sell. I think most people who listen to us, if you're a Star Wars fan, we're gonna watch Boba Fett anyway. So I don't know if it moved the needle there. I hope it moves the needle with the general audience, but it's really not made for them. So we'll see how that goes and turns out. So speaking of not trailers, but speaking of movies that are coming up. Actually, I'm sorry. This is not a movie. It's a docu-series. I mentioned Netflix before. They are doing a docu-series on Bernie Madoff from Joe Berlinger. So he's the filmmaker attached to it. It's based off Jim Campbell's book, Madoff Talks, uncovering the untold story behind the most notorious Ponzi scheme in history. And the series will explore the cautionary tale of big money, insatiable greed, and a broken system that enabled one man to single-handedly manipulate the global financial market. Campbell spent a decade talking to Madoff in prison, and he is among those interviewed for the series. So, if you live in this area, especially like Pete and I do, this story was huge all over the world.
It was one of the greatest things ever.
But yeah, here in New York, it was a very, very big story for a very long time.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of tragedy attached to it, too. One of his sons committed suicide because of this.
I'm talking about the Mets angle. Like, that's me. That's why I loved it. But that's me. He's a horrible person. But the whole Met stuff is great. Like, I can't wait. I'm going to read this book. I was like, oh, this stuff's fantastic. It's right up my alley.
Famously, the New York Mets owners at the time, not Steve Cohen, but their previous owners.
The Wilpons.
The Wilpons, yes, were involved in the Ponzi scheme. And they said it didn't impact their spending on the team, which turned out to be complete crap because... It most clueless. Certainly did. Yeah.
Jeff was clueless his whole time.
So yeah, there was also a movie a few years ago on HBO starring Robert De Niro, who played Madoff.
I didn't know this.
Yes, there was an HBO film a couple of years ago that came out.
De Niro as Madoff? That sounds great.
De Niro played Madoff. So it's a pretty good film, but that was a dramatic tale. This is a docuseries, so there's going to be more true people that are involved in it. It's also added to Netflix's list of things coming out, which is Tiger King 2, Puppet Master Hunting the Ultimate Con Man, The Tinder Swindler, Trust No One, The Hunt for Crypto King, and Bad Vegan. So
that's interesting. Bad Vegan. I think that's about my friend Ryan O'Loughlin. He's a diehard vegan. It's to the point where like he throws chicken tenders at me. He's very
wow.
He's crazy. If he sees me eating things, I eat things. You know, like I'm a gavone. Like I eat a lot. So like he's crazy. He's crazy. I mean, I love him, but Ryan's nuts. But like Bad Vegan, he's a crazy vegan.
Yeah, man. So I'm interested. I'm interested in this only because, again, this was such a big news story here in this area because this is where most of the stuff took place in the New York area. So.
I think it's fascinating. I didn't know about this De Niro thing. I'll have to check that out either. But
yeah,
it was, dude, it was on the radio every day. Like Francesca would talk about this nonstop. It was, I'd love to hear more about it.
It impacted a lot. It was a lot of famous people, not just the Wilpons, but a lot of famous people are also involved in this. And it's crazy that he was able to pull this off. Like every time I read about it and how it happened, it's just crazy to me.
I can't believe they all fell for it.
But when you have that much money, I guess you stop asking questions. You're getting all these returns. You just like, hey, this is working. So
I don't know how it works. I have no idea.
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's kind of like a pyramid type thing.
I know that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, thank God I don't have money, so I can't fall victim to a Ponzi scheme. You know, like I would probably be up there with Jeff and Fred.
See, you wouldn't be laughing so hard then if it was if you were.
I'm laughing hysterically right now. I can't wait.
It was tough. Man.
It's one of those fun moments of like sports history where like I can go back, I can look at that and laugh and just enjoy it for a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have disdain for the Mets, so it doesn't really.
It's not the same.
I know what you're saying. If it was going to happen to a team, it would happen to them. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
like, if this was going to happen to something associated with a baseball team, it would be the Mets.
Yeah.
So I hear you on that. And if we have Met fans listening, Pete's sorry he's laughing at your.
I got a soft 90-win Yankee team. Like my team's not any better.
So guys, look for that coming on Netflix. I'm trying to see when it's supposed to be coming out. I'm sorry. It just is coming soon, so we'll see when that actually happens. If you guys want to read about it, this article is in the wrap, so you can go check the wrap and look for that as well. A little bit more casting news now. One of the previous shows, I don't remember if it was the last one or the one before that we did the news, we told you that Christopher Nolan had cast one of his former actors who he always casts in his film, Cillian Murphy, to play the lead role in Oppenheimer. Well, now we got word that Emily Blunt has also joined the cast, and she will play the wife of Robert J. Oppenheimer, of course, who is the scientist who ran the Manhattan Project that led to the invention of the atomic bomb.
And Dr. Manhattan.
Yes. If you want to tie it into, if we're going to tie it into DC and comics, then yes, Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan. Yes, it's all here. It's all together. But so that's pretty cool news. Emily Blunt is a good actress, and it's just adding an.
It's interesting. She came off like $2 billion movies in the article. They said one of them was The Jungle Cruise. I was like, yo, that movie sold crazy. I still have to see it. I'm pumped.
A Quiet Place too.
Yeah, which I have to see. I haven't seen those. I hear they're fantastic.
The first one's good. I haven't seen the second one yet.
I mean, it's Nolan, baby. He's back. He's ready to take over the box office. Let's go. Everyone's talking trash about Tenet. Well, guess what? Nolan's coming back.
And this is also the first, his first film with Universal, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. So the GOAT has come to claim the crown. Everyone got to laugh. But guess what? Nolan is back. I'm pumped. I get it. Nolanites unite. We're coming back, baby. We're coming back strong. Jesus. Ooh. Nolan.
Oh, boy.
Come on. You love it. Nolan. Smartest guy in the room. Nolan.
No, that's what I haven't liked about that's what I didn't like about Tenet.
I don't want to hear it. He's Nolan. He's Nolan. Let him do his thing. He's Nolan.
Even though, again, I think the movie was good. I just have to watch it again.
I still haven't seen Tenet.
So
I'm not going to see it until everyone admits it's a masterpiece. How's that? How's that, Twitter? Take that, Twitter.
Most of his films I like. I mean, of course I'm not going to lie about that. He's great. Most of his movies I've really, really enjoyed. But
I still love Dunkirk. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but that's fine.
Eric doesn't like planes, apparently.
I love planes.
You don't love planes.
I love them.
Eric hates Starscream.
What?
Just saying, you don't like planes.
I hate Starscream's voice, yes. I don't like his voice.
It's always something. No.
All right, so moving right along. So last month, I think 2 episodes ago, we talked about, or maybe the beginning of October, I think it was, because that's when the movie came out. We talked about The Many Saints of Newark.
And I loved it,
And what we thought about it. I thought it was okay. I thought it could have been better. I thought it should have been a series. And along those lines, David Chase is in discussions with Warner Media to do a Sopranos sequel to The Many Saints of Newark.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It's a prequel to the show, but a sequel to The Many Saints of Newark.
Yes. What would you call that? Prequel? Preschool?
I don't know. It's going to be cool if it's going to pick up obviously right after the Many Saints of Newark left off. So it'll definitely focus on Tony as he grows more powerful. It'll probably also
Johnny Boy. I think a
little more on Johnny Boy,
which is great because Bernthal. I love Bernthal. I would love more Bernthal. I thought the kid who played Syl was great. I'd love the kid who played Pussy. I thought he was great. So I'd love to see these kids grow into the roles, kind of like the Shazamly.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool. I'm all about it. More Michael Gandolfini. I'm in. I hope it happens. He says he's only going to do it if Terrence Winter writes a script with him.
Right.
I hope that's the case because I know Terrence Winter is not on the new Arkham GCPD show. So hopefully he left that with the hopes of joining David Chase and just making Sunday dinners that much more enjoyable for everyone across America.
Right. And this of course came off the news that Chase had signed a 5-year first look development deal with Warner Media. So now that you have that, and then you have this, and again, depending on how you felt about The Many Saints of Newark, even if that turns out being like the movie intro to a series, then I think it's great because I just want more of this world anyway. So
yeah, I want
awesome.
more gangster stuff, and that's kind of like why I said Boba's like so appealing. Music. This is very gangster. So
right.
Like it's been a while. I feel like the last good gangster thing I've seen, because I haven't watched The Irishman, is Black Mass, and that wasn't even like loved.
Yeah, that's true. So we shall, of course, see what happens. But if this does come to fruition, but it's cool that they're talking about it, and it's cool that there seems to be mutual interest. So we'll wait and see what happens there. More Star Wars news happened, and more Star Wars news about a guy returning that I really could care less about.
In the rundown, this is called Eric stuff.
Yes, Pete specifically labeled this Eric stuff, which is kind of smart because I'm not a fan of this guy. But
I thought you were into this. I thought this would be like your thing.
I'm into the show. I mean,
let me get to it. You don't even like this kid? Oh yeah, you go do your thing. Tell everyone.
Let me talk about let me get to what we're talking about. So we had heard a couple months ago, I want to say probably 3 or 4 months ago now, that Hayden Christensen was returning to the Obi-Wan series to co-star with Ewan McGregor and to play Anakin, Darth Vader, whatever he's going to play to reprise that role. Well, he's also returning to the new Ahsoka series that's coming out. Now, we got in the last season on The Mandalorian, we got a first look at a live action Ahsoka Tano, who of course was a character that was added when the Clone Wars series came out years ago. And she was portrayed by Rosario Dawson. Well, we found out at the investors call earlier this year that they were doing a show on the Ahsoka series, and now we're finding out that not only is it a show, but Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, will be returning to reprise the role in this show. So, as I've said, I'm not a big fan. I was never a big fan of the casting of Hayden Christensen to play this role. I did not like his portrayal of Anakin, especially in Attack of the Clones. It was a little better in Revenge of the Sith. I know there's a huge fan group of fans who love this news and are happy he's coming back and all this other stuff. And I think it's cool to tie it to it. I think there's a lot of fan service going on with it, but for me, they could have recast the role and just said he was coming back, and I would have been fine with it. So
I love how this guy is like the most controversial thing in Star Wars history. Like he's definitely up there. Like everything about this actor, I feel like coming back, and like some people hate it, some people love it, some people love his performances. Sand is infamous. I just, as someone who's just like, oh, it was all right. Like he was fine. Like I don't think he's an issue, but like I'm just surprised. Like when everyone wants Ryan Reynolds to come back as a freaking Green Lantern, and then this kid is like, it's lukewarm. So
I know
it's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's Much Ado About Nothing. I don't care if he's back, that's fine. I'm not going to trash it. It's not going to make me not watch the show. Of course, I'm going to watch the show, but it's kind of, they could have cast another actor to play him, and I would have been just as happy that the character was coming back. So it's cool. It's, like I said, a little bit of fan service.
You're getting a lot of Star Wars stuff here.
Just a couple. Just Boba in this, I think. That's all we have. So
that's still a lot. I mean, in between movies.
Yeah, that's true.
And Mandalorian's been huge.
Oh, the content we're getting, the Star Wars stuff that we're getting, and how they're expanding the universe with the Bad Batch too. That was a very, very good show. If you guys haven't watched it yet, definitely go check it out. The Bad Batch I thought was very, very good, very underrated.
That's an animated show, right?
Yes, it's animated.
And that's what, isn't there more? No, that's the only one, isn't it?
Well, it's the only season that we've gotten so far. I don't remember if they announced we're getting a second one yet. They might have. I think they probably will. It's a it's a show that deals with characters that are brand new. We hadn't heard of them before.
Okay.
Until actually the last season of the Clone Wars, which they just did this year. So it was a very good offshoot, and it was very well done. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. But I'm very, very happy that we're getting a lot more new in Star Wars content.
What are you more happy with at the moment? The current state of DC or the current state of Star Wars?
That's a good question. I'm excited about both. I think DC's in the best position it's been in a very long time.
We agree on that.
So I think for status of the IP and of everything that they're doing, I have a lot of excitement for the DC stuff. Again, we're getting, like we all know, we're getting the Batman, but we're also getting the Flash movie. And, it's two different timelines, really, and that's cool. I think that's cool that we're getting two different sets of stories and two separate timelines. So I love that part about it. And then when you look at the Star Wars stuff, again, I like that they're fleshing out parts of the universe that they've never done before. So Ahsoka is a character that was here before, but now they're giving her own show where she's getting to grow a little bit. And the Bad Batch was a jump into territory they had never explored before, at least on screen. So now they have that show. So I like that the development that both places are going. It's a very exciting time for all fans. I think it's an exciting time for fans, period, of all this comic.
Oh, please. I'm ecstatic. Like, there's nothing. I can't wait. Like, this is, please. I'm excited for Far From Home. Like, stop complaining. All of you.
All right. Well, since you brought that up, we'll just shoot to that story. We got a movie picture, an official movie poster reveal last night.
Yeah. I thought it was beautiful.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
MCU poster, Spider-Man, Sony thing, just this merger. Best one they've done. Easily, by far. Hands down.
Yep, we have the sign of the bomb. You have Goblin in the back. You have Doc Ock's tentacles,
sand,
in the poster.
All of it.
Yes, wonderful. It's very, very cool picture. It definitely tells you everything that's going on.
I don't care about the suit. The poster looks great. I honestly, I'd buy the poster. And everyone knows I hate the suit. Suit doesn't bother me as long as the movie's good. Suit's not going to bother me. Same thing happened in Dark Knight. Like that, he looks like he's wearing a puzzle. Movie's too good. I can't complain about it. This looks fantastic. I can't wait. Like they're talking about this being like Spider-Man Endgame. Like, no, do it. Shoot your shot. Be ambitious. Let's go. Like I pray to God you're not biting more off than you can chew, but like you're already making it. So here we. I just hope to God I get there and I enjoy it. And right now, it's great. I don't care who's in it. If you throw in two guys that I wasn't expecting, so be it. If they're not in it, I'm not gonna light my torch. So I'm not grabbing my pitchfork. I just the fact that you're giving me what you're giving me is good enough for me, and just I'm excited. I mean, like everyone knows, I didn't like Far From Home. That's a bad taste. I'm hoping to God, I hope this thing is juicy and succulent with some fried onions on top. Like I can't wait. I'm just pumped. Let's go. Bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that it's coming in about a month now, like a little over a month.
Yeah, like no more trailers. I don't need no more trailer. Just give me the movie. It's all I need.
Yeah. I mean, there was an article in Empire at the end of last month where John Watts talks about what you said, that he said it's very ambitious, and he called it Spider-Man Endgame.
Like, do it. He deserves it. He's freaking Spider-Man. Let's go.
Right. So I think we're all looking forward to this one, no matter what side of the line you fall on, because there's so much mystery surrounding certain things.
Yeah, just go. So, it sounds great.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this.
It was awesome to get that poster too. That was pretty freaking
poster
cool.
Looks great. I want to buy the poster.
So
is allposters.com even an active website anymore?
I don't know, but I would check.
But I do. I'd love to buy it.
Check.
I'd love to check it out.
So one more, I'll throw this in too, because it just came out today and we were talking about it in the chat for a little while. Another little piece of current news is that Patty Jenkins, as we know, at the Disney Investors Call was they showed a little teaser trailer that she was going to be doing a Star Wars movie called Rogue Squadron, and we heard that was going to be delayed today. So I don't know if it ties into Wonder Woman 3. I don't know what the whole story is technically behind it, but they haven't changed the release date. They just said that it's kind of being delayed.
So that means they haven't started this movie yet, correct?
Yes, I would assume it's not. There's another little rumor out there that they might be replacing it with a Knights of the Old Republic film. I don't know how much I trust that rumor. I've seen Star Wars rumors come from places sometimes that are crazy, and then they turn out to be true sometimes. So this wasn't a WGTC thing that I saw it on, but it's not exactly a place I totally trust. So I don't know if that's the case. But
why are you reading shady news? Why do you even bother reading shady news?
It's not, because again, it's from a site that has gotten things right before. So it's one of those, but they've also gotten things wrong. So it's kind of one of those you're kind of like, I don't know to believe it or not. Nah. So that's why I'm kind of asking questions. So if you guys, anyone out there who's a Star Wars fan has heard that we might be getting Knights of the Old Republic from a reliable source, tweet at me, let us know, because I'd love to know.
I'd like to know what's going on.
Knights of the Old Republic is a video game and comic book series that was very, very popular and talks about a time in Star Wars that's way, way before any of the time periods that we know of. So it'd be pretty cool if we got something like that. And fans have wanted it for a long time. So if anyone knows, let me know.
I'll let Patty do what she wants.
Of course. Whatever she
can do.
I mean, if it's Wonder Woman, since I went there, I'll keep up with the Wonder Woman stuff. That there's also news again. Linda Carter, which we found out at Fandom, she will be returning in Wonder Woman 3. It was kind of teased at the end of 84 too, so we kind of knew she was around, but she will be back. Gal Gadot spoke about it, and she said, first of all, Linda has mentored me from the very first moment that I got cast as Wonder Woman. She was always there talking to me, giving me tips and everything. She's a true champion of what Patty and I have been doing, and it was so great that we managed to find the right opportunity to bring her to the last movie and now to the third one. So it was kind of cool how they brought her in at the end of 84, the role that they gave her. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to her being in this. She's literally the first... I was so young, but I want to say crush I remember having was Linda Carter's Wonder Woman from the TV show.
I'm sure.
So anytime that she could be brought back, I'm all for it.
Oh man, look at my life.
Right.
Dude, I'm pumped as someone who thoroughly enjoys Wonder Woman 84. I think this is great news. Keaton's back. Carter's back. It's a shame, Mr. Reeves and Mr. Reeve are gone. Otherwise, I'm sure they'll be back. Hell, Dean Cain came back one time. So the goats are coming back. He was on Supergirl. I think he lasted like a season. The goats are coming back. It's great news all around. I love how they're being reincorporated into mythology and such. I mean, John Wesley Shipp, another one. He's a Flash of a different era. He is a new Flash now. It's great to see what was old kind of become new again. And, we all love these characters and we all grow up with specific iterations and stuff, whether it's on television or in print. So it's great. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I can't wait to see how she's incorporated into the story. I love the Amazon opening sequence of Wonder Woman 84. So she's on the island or something. I don't know. Well, it'd be interesting because she seems to be kind of, going around doing good deeds in man's world. So the last time we checked in with her. So just excited. Mystery, speculation, having fun. Can't wait to see what Patty and team comes up with. So great news in my opinion.
Yeah. And man, she looks incredible still. Like this woman does not age. It's unbelievable how good she looks. So guys, you can
Amazonian DNA,
find,
bro.
Yeah, man. As you know, you can always find everything we talk about on our Facebook pages. So if you guys want to check the story out, it's in the Hollywood Reporter as well. So you want to go give that a look. But very, very cool news. And it's cool to see that how both of them, how much Gal Gadot respects Linda Carter and, what she's meant to her for playing Wonder Woman. It's been very, very cool to see that relationship. So look forward to that when we get Wonder Woman 3, whenever it's coming out.
I'm in no rush. Let them take their time. Let Patty and Jeff write the script. Let them enjoy it and, create it with love and all that good stuff to make the best movie possible. So
Right. So you brought up Superman, and as we know, Michael B. Jordan has been in development of a Val-Zod project.
Yes,
and we finally have a couple writers that were added that are going to be writing the script. So Darnell Medayer, I guess that's how you say his name, and Josh Peters are set to write Val-Zod, which of course is the HBO Max adaptation that Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society is producing for DC Entertainment and Warner Brothers Television. So these two guys have been around for a little while. They wrote a project that Sam Raimi directed called Lanola. They were a 1 hour pilot of Hannibal.
Okay.
So they've done a couple things. They work on Transformers: Rise of the Beast for Paramount Pictures.
Have you watched that?
We know it's coming out.
Oh, that's not a show that's out now. Okay.
No, that's the movie. That's the
movie. Okay. There's a lot of Transformers stuff out there. I get confused.
Yeah, so they've been a part of that.
Oh, that's good.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. There's still no word on if Michael B. Jordan is going to be playing Val-Zod. We still don't know about that. I think it'd be cool if he did, but he's busy with a lot of other things going on. So these guys have done some things, and it's cool that we finally have a writer. At least we know now that at least this thing's going to have a script. Yeah,
it's nice to see the project moving along. I'm interested in seeing what they do with Val-Zod. When Val-Zod was created, Earth 2 has lost their classic superheroes. That's Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, and Diana Prince. They all die in an invasion of Steppenwolf. And then new heroes arise, and Val-Zod comes on actually much later than that second generation of heroes. He's almost like the third generation of hero who takes over that Earth. So, coming from comics, oh wow, that's an extensive chore to we've got to cast all these guys and then kill them off. You wonder what they're going to do, how creative they're going to, actually be, how what are the liberties they're going to take. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's what's really interesting about this to me, because I think it'd be so different than what I've read. I think it's going to be really different,
So that, that's very cool that we have writers. That was one of the projects I remember us talking about off record, that we were just kind of is this going to happen? We don't know, because we had the other one also with Ta-Nehisi Coates, and
I think we're going to get one Abrams. Of the two. I don't think we get both. Right. I think we get one of the two.
So, now we have, I've obviously know Ta-Nehisi Coates was written, but now this seems to be a little bit more further in development. So
it's a cool little race they're kind of having. To be honest, they're kind of neck and neck, I think.
I know. So I don't know.
I think the Coates one has to be handed in by Christmas, like I said. Well, December,
right?
Got. So I think when the Val-Zod one is finished, I think they just look at the two scripts and they pick the one they like the best.
I agree. I think that's what we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get both projects. You're right. I think they're gonna get one or the other. So it'll be cool. All right. So from Val-Zod, let's go to someone who I know is near and dear to your heart. Of course, I'm talking about Kara, who, of course, is Supergirl. Kara Zor-El, of course, is Supergirl, whose show is ending. And the star of that show was Melissa Benoist. Now, I remember her. I will say this proudly. I was a Gleek. I liked the show Glee, and she used to be on that show.
And Grant Gustin was, right? They were both.
Yes, Grant Gustin was also on it. So that's how I first got introduced to her. And then, as we famously know, I'm not a huge fan of the show Supergirl. You
should be. It's great this season.
I liked her. She was okay in the role. She kind of grew on me with all the crossovers and stuff.
They take liberties, I'll tell you that much.
Huh?
They take liberties. Everything they did with Mr. Harwood. There's a lot of liberties.
The Arrowverse does all the time. I got used to it on Arrow. It's just what they do. They take. Greg Berlanti's like, yes, I know these characters, but I'm going to do what I want to do.
The worst iteration of Cyborg Superman I've ever seen. But I love Mr. Harwood.
So, yeah. So we know they take liberties. But it's a pretty cool – it was an interview she did with Entertainment Weekly where she's talking about the end of the time of playing Supergirl. And it's cool to read. There's a lot of stuff she gets into. But the thing I took most from it was how the role kind of changed her. As a person, and how she used it to get through a tough time in her life, and it made her stronger playing a superhero.
Yeah.
And I always think that stuff is cool when an actor can do that, can throw themselves into a role that they get, especially one empowering like obviously a superhero is, and they can find themselves in that. I think that's an awesome thing. That's why acting is such a cool profession, because you get to do these things that most of us don't get to do. Like, I would love to play like Luke Skywalker. That's been my guy since I'm a little boy. If I ever had that chance, it would be.
I would love for you to be like, who would you be if I could get cast Eric Coltrane?
Oh, great! I can't wait to hear this.
I don't even know. Like, it's got to be an athletical feature. So it'd have to be a football movie. It would be. You'd have to be like the Long Island Michael Orr or something like that. You know. It'd have to be like
way too small.
Well, whatever. I don't know. I mean, you were the bat boy at Fenway Park this summer, so like anything's possible.
Yo, that's so true, man. I can't believe that. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I wish I could. We need to find the picture again, Pete. You need to post it up again.
It's on the Facebook page. It's all there. It's all
yeah.
There. It's all there.
That so with that his hat on, like a dead ringer. It was a dead ringer.
I was like, wow, Eric's over there.
So as a fan of Supergirl and the show, Pete, and watching her over these past 6 years, did the interview bring out anything for you that you didn't know?
It was cool just hearing her, like you said, reflect on the role and talking about like what she liked and what she, like how she grew as a person. Like, she had this role for 6 years. It changed her life. She grew into a woman, and she was happy to inspire other women and stuff like that. And, she mentioned how she's essentially the first female lead superhero since Linda Carter, like we mentioned earlier. Like, that's a big deal. Like, how many, I guess you could say Birds of Prey as well, but Birds of Prey only lasted for like a season. Right. So this has been around for 6 years. It's been one of the longer CW shows, like Arrow had like a 3-year head start. Flash had like a 1-year head start. So, it got more seasons than Black Lightning. Black Lightning ended after 4. So it's one of the longer running shows. And I'd say Legends probably outruns it a little bit. I'd say Legends probably has a year ahead of it.
I think so. I think it went Arrow was first, and then after 2 seasons or 3 seasons, then Flash came. Yeah. Then Legends, and then Supergirl.
She just talked about growing up as a person. She's like, I don't remember the first season. She's like, there was a lot going on. My life changed so drastically the first season, but she loves the first season so much. She loves the episodes with Kevin Smith. She said Supergirl Lives is her favorite episode, and there was a lot in season 1 she liked a lot, even though she doesn't remember it.
Yeah, I think it was just cool. Yeah, it was cool to hear her talk about how she also became more empowered as the show went on. Like, she said in season 1, she would never say no, or I can't do something, or she always tried to please everyone. Yeah. And then she said by the end, she was like,
you'd be the team player. She's probably like, I've been on this harness all day. And I'm like, I don't blame her. I've seen her on that thing. I've seen Brandon Routh. I've seen Henry Cavill. Like, it's like that thing doesn't look comfortable, and they're just blowing this fan in your face. I get it. So, it's just cool to just behind the scenes stuff. And she's going to miss the show. And she's, she talked about just Mekhi Brooks and Jeremy Jordan, who were on the show early on and left early.
Her husband,
he's on.
Yeah.
And she loves the crossovers, and she openly admitted, she's like, hey, look, it's a CW. She's like, I'm pretty sure I'll be back at some point. And that's what's great. Yeah. Once COVID, hopefully calms down a little bit more, we'll get, more stuff like that. Cause I feel like if things were like 3 years ago, Supergirl would have been on Superman and Lois, and vice versa, right? Like somebody like Jonathan or Jordan would have made a cameo on Supergirl, and they would have done like some fluffy, fun Cousins in the Cities type stuff. So I'm all for it, and that's what's great about the CW. I love all the CW shows. You all know that. I review Batwoman and I praise it. I give it. It's the best C. It's the best C plus I'll ever get. It's a C plus. It's a C plus. It's fair. It's a fair grade.
But you don't love all the shows because you still haven't watched Arrow, which I cannot believe.
It doesn't mean I don't like it. I just have to get there. I still haven't watched Legends either.
That's true.
I just haven't got. Dude, there's so much stuff. I'm behind on Supergirl. I'm behind on Flash. I'm behind on Doom Patrol. I'm behind on Stargirl. The only good thing about Supergirl ending is I won't be far behind anymore because eventually I'll catch up. I'm like,
there's no more. Yeah, there's no more for them to add, so you don't have to worry about.
So it's like one less thing. When I finished off, I'm like, oh, good. Flash doesn't start yet, but I think it starts like the 4th. I think it starts like next week, so I'll be behind on that stuff. So, but I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And, it was good to hear her talk. I love her. I loved when she talked at Fandom. It was great. Yeah, it's cool. I've loved this show since it was on CBS, and while I miss Callista Flockhart, there are other bigger issues. They did some crazy things. I had no problem with Jimmy Olsen being jacked, but Jimmy Olsen being Guardian, I was like, what are you guys doing? What is this? And then at least his sister at least looks like the Guardian. But there was a lot of cool stuff in the show, and I dug it.
It's weird that I watched the first season and I wasn't a huge fan, but I liked Callista Flockhart's character, so I'm like, I'll stick with it. And then she did not back.
Then they moved to CW, and the shooting locations moved to Vancouver and not LA. She was out. She was out, which was a bummer, but I enjoy it. I like the show. It's fun. It's not perfect. It's not my ideal version of Supergirl, but it's better than nothing, and it's fun sometimes. And we get a real Martian Manhunter.
Of course, right? Yes, we got a real Martian Manhunter in that. So
somehow, some way, they were able to make Hank Henshaw the Martian Manhunter. Oh man, was that a journey? That was a journey. And there's one season I think if you just watch season 4 because it's hardcore politics and immigration, I think you'd really be into it. I swear to God, it was right up your alley when it was going down. Like you and Rick, right. I'm telling you, just watch season 4. I'm telling you to skip ahead. Agent Liberty, really interesting stuff.
Okay, well maybe I'll give that a shot.
You were asking for stuff to fall asleep to, and you didn't want to watch Batwoman.
That is true. That is what you suggested I do, is watch Batwoman and fall asleep.
First of all, I know he probably would get bored. I'd love it if the show got the rating bump, Zaddy style. Just play it and fall asleep. So
is there a cooler actor than Chris Pratt? Like, I think he's so cool. Every time I see him, he just seems to be so happy that he's doing what he's doing. Like, he's a very Huh?
I feel like Tom Cruise.
Nah, Tom Cruise is weird. Chris Pratt just looks like he loves what he's doing, and he's just so happy to be there every time I see him, that he's just happy that he has this great life and he gets to act and do what he loves to do for a living. And he is getting to play a character that as a child I loved very much, and not play but voice a character, and of course I'm talking about Garfield. Garfield is one of my favorite comic strips from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
There was a show, there was a cartoon about it. He's been around forever. So they're doing a movie, and Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield.
I didn't hate the Bill Murray ones.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
The first one I like. I don't like. I think the second one I didn't like. I believe they made 2.
Yes, it was 2004's Garfield, and then Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. The first one I enjoyed.
Yes. And as you know, like you just said, Bill Murray voiced the character. But Pratt has been all over the place. We know he's going to be doing the Super Mario Brothers. We're voicing Mario.
Jurassic World, whatever that one is. Alien.
But he also voiced in the Lego movie. I forget the character's name, but he was the main voice in the Lego movie. Yes, he was. So yeah, man. So he's been voicing.
Was he in What If? Was he in What If?
Oh, I don't think
he didn't. He didn't voice Burger Peter.
No, I don't think he did.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm excited. It's Garfield. It's cool. I love lasagna. Garfield loves lasagna. It's like a match made in heaven. Garfield's Italian, obviously. So Garfield and Boba Fett must be related. So
that's pretty cool. And like I said, this guy just seems to be just living his best life right now. Seriously, like he's got married to Schwarzenegger's daughter, right?
I didn't know he did that. I had no idea.
Is that her name? I think
Arnold
Schwarzenegger. I forget. It might be. I don't know. But yeah, he's just living his best life right now, and he just seems to be getting all these voice roles. The Super Mario Brothers ones was weird because he's not who I think of when I think of Mario.
Well, hopefully he can change his voice a little bit.
Yep. But Garfield obviously is a cat, so anyone could be Garfield. I think he'll be right for this one. So, and of course, everyone wants him to take over as Indiana Jones when Harrison Ford is done.
I would love it if they did not make any Indiana Jones movies without Harrison Ford. Like, I'd much rather him. I'd rather have old Harrison than young Pratt. Let's put it that way.
I agree. Like, it's one of those IPs. Like, I couldn't have. Same thing when with Han Solo when they killed him in The Force Awakens. Like, I couldn't have seen anyone else playing Han Solo. So I was glad Solo. They did that. obviously, yeah, no, Solo, Alden Ehrenreich did a great job, and he was excellent and much better than I thought of, but I couldn't see it until I was like, all right, well, they're doing this. So I would much rather have not, as much as I didn't need Solo, turned out to really like it. So
yeah, I really dig that movie.
Yeah. All right, so one last thing we'll discuss really quick. Their news came out today about AMC's revenue, their quarterly revenues. And I'm just bringing this up because last year we talked a lot about during the pandemic, how when movie theaters were shutting down, I was very worried that movie theaters might not regain their strength. And it turns out that they did a lot better this quarter than they expected. And their losses from the theaters for the 3-month period ending in September shrunk from, falling to 224.2 million or 44 cents per share compared to the 905.8 million or $8.41 per share that the company hemorrhaged, of course, last year during the pandemic. That is a pretty stark change. And I just wanted to bring this up because I read the story and I told Pete, I said, let's just talk about it again, because at least I talked a lot last year about how I was afraid, and it seems like people really missed the movies as much as I did and we did, and they're going back.
Yeah, I wasn't afraid about anything. I just, you had to wait for things to open up, wait for people to get vaccinated or whatnot if they want to have their fake vax cards or whatever. I just think you just had to wait it out, and people are excited to do stuff, and people want to be social, and it's a good thing. It really is. It's good for the country. It's good for everyone's sanity to go out and do things, and movies are a wonderful experience. And who doesn't love some popcorn and some explosions and some cool cars? Like, that's why I'm going to go see Ambulance, and that's just it. Like, it's great to hear people are excited and going back to the movies. Like, yeah, it's a good thing. Sports are back, movies are back, the world's coming back slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's I think is the largest takeaway. I read some news today too that we're going to soon be entering the endemic phase, which obviously is after the pandemic phase because the Delta variant cases are dropping drastically.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's really, really getting back to normal. I don't know if we'll ever be the same as we were. Obviously, things are changed now, and
I think people will be cautious, but
right, people will be a lot more cautious. But this is one piece of good news, especially for what we talk about. This is excellent news, and so people out there, if you want to get at us, tell us if you've been back to the movies and what your experience has been like. And
Eric's always back to the movies.
Yeah, I went as soon as they allowed us. I went back. So I've been back since last August. It's been a little over a year now. But yeah, this has been a really, really tough thing, especially for me, for someone who really loves going. It's something everyone always laughs, like things people spend their money on. For me, it's going to the movies. It's just something I like to do. So, but this was very, very encouraging news. I'm also an investor in AMC, not to put anything out there, but I am an investor.
Look at you playing the stock market Madoff.
Yes,
okay.
So it's very cool that the company's doing well, because then my stock prices will go up and I'll make a little money in the process. So that's also nice as well. So I just wanted to throw that out.
He's only in it for the money. Don't let him fool you.
I'm in it for the money, but I'm also in it for the perks that these things give us. Like, we get a lot of perks doing these podcasts, guys.
You mean like Manscaped products, which I just used and Eric had no idea?
Of course.
My
crop
preserver.
I'm talking about Manscaped.
Smells amazing. I love this stuff.
Support for Straight Outta Gotham is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They've just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0, which Pete so nicely played for you guys before. Yes, we're up to the 4.0. And of course, with our exclusive offer right now, you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code GOTHAM at manscaped.com. So definitely, guys, again, we want to thank you for supporting us last month. Keep on giving us that support. Go back there, reorder. You're allowed to use the code. And
sorry,
do that again.
There's nothing wrong with your radio. That was the sound of the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes.
The rhythmic sounds of keeping clean.
Yeah, and one of the things too, guys, is it's waterproof. So if you in the
shower,
so if you shave, if you do your shaving and your manscaping in the shower, you can bring it in there with you, and
You're not going to end up like Uncle Fester in Addams Family Values.
So yeah, guys. So again, 20% off plus free shipping with code Gotham at manscaped.com. And we thank you. Pete and I thank you very much for the support so far.
Yeah.
All right, brother. So anything else we want to talk about before we shut this one down?
Just everyone try to tweet at Eric so he watches Batwoman. I think it'd be fun.
All right, man. So give them all your socials, what you're up to, what you're doing.
You could follow me on social media. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Zack Snyder's favorite Vero at Pete Illustrated. You can follow podcast number 1. That's the podcast you're listening to right now, Straight Outta Gotham, at straight_O_G on Twitter and Instagram. We have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook fan page. Check all that stuff out. Everything that we talk about on the podcast gets posted there first. So you can read the articles and then hear us talk about them later. Make sure you follow at Team Yellow Oval as we get excited for the return of Keaton and the Oval and the Flash. Follow podcast number 2, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast that I co-host with Nico and Nick Caruso. That is a wonderful Spider-Man themed podcast at Italians for Spidey on Twitter. Read my reviews of Detective Comics on Batman on Film. Read my reviews of Batwoman on Batman on Film. Check out my toy reviews and interviews on Batman on Film YouTube. Check out my monthly appearance on the Batman Book Club with the host Ryan Lauer and his really amazing juiced pecs. I'm trying to think what else is there. I think that's it. Eric, take it away.
Mine will be a lot shorter, guys. As you know, you can find me on Twitter at Finally33, spell Finale33. Again, check us out on Facebook. As you guys know, we have our group and our show page. The group is where we talk about stuff. So if you guys want to break stuff down with us when we're not here, or you don't want to hit us up on Twitter, you want to join a little closed group, go to Facebook and find us there.
Little ooksis in the morning.
Yes, a little of that. Pete is very, very good, as he mentioned, at posting all of the articles that we talk about on our podcast are there. So definitely go there if you want to read those and then talk to us about it. Yell at us, whatever you want to do.
Yell at Eric.
Yeah, you can yell at me. It's fine. I'm used to it, so it's okay.
Please yell at Eric.
So hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe we'll start talking about our holiday. Maybe we might do something for the holidays again. I know last year we did the fundraiser. Maybe you'd like to do something like that again. I don't know if we have the time.
Maybe we should make Casey Walsh an annual Thanksgiving episode.
Because he loves the holiday so much.
We should just dedicate a Casey Walsh special. I think we should do that. We haven't talked to him in like a year.
We haven't. And
he's got a lot to say. He's phenomenal on Twitter. I can't wait. So
the guy hates Thanksgiving, so it's also fun.
Well, has he eaten Rick Shoes mashed potatoes?
See how we come full circle, guys? See how we always come full circle for you? We're back to Rick's mashed potatoes and my mashed potatoes. And oh boy. So again, guys, thanks for everything with the Manscaped stuff. Again, go there and check it out. Again, Gotham. Code is Gotham.
20% off, free shipping nationwide.
Yes. So go check that out. So I think that's it. So I'm going to shut this one down. For Peter Vera, I am Eric Holzman. You are listening to Straight Outta Gotham, and we will see you next time.
Booyah!